let's just get greasy. Let's get it. Let's go.
What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's Katana Garage. I've got a sick ass video today for all you guys. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscription bell, the subscription button, hit the notification bell. That way you can get all the updates and I release some dope stuff. So right now, what I got a hellcat in the shop. I got a couple stuff in the garage, but we're working on the hellcat right now. So I'm gonna show you how you can take your regular hellcat, your stock hellcat, from 707 horse to upwards 1,000 plus, so almost even 1,500 if you want to throw at it. I'm gonna show you what it takes, where to get the parts, what parts to use, and these are products that I've been using forever. So I'm gonna give you the formula. You don't want to miss it. All you hellcat guys, let's go. Let's just jump right into it. You know what time it is. Let's go. So head's gone. Supercharger over there is chilling. Next update. That's coming out. Get the other one prepped. Heads are off to the shop to get machined and spec'd out. So check the valves, valve job, valve guides, and stuff like that. So next, follow up the updates. Check it out. I don't want to open it up too much, but all that's in here is a short block. That's it. I can already tell there's nothing else, just the pistons and the block. Pretty much that, but newer, sitting in there. So you're definitely gonna need all the miscellaneous for sure. On this one, it makes no sense opening it up because I already know it's broken. But I'm gonna have to transfer all this stuff. Your MDS block offs, the cam position sensor. I have to transfer the clutch. I'm gonna have to remove this. It's a twin disc clutch. Clutches are good. All the plates are nice and thick, so that's fine. The problem I'm having, I need a special tool similar to this one, but this is not the right one. This is for older years, for 2011, the older one off the Mopar side, so that's gonna take a while to get in. But yeah, what happened here, you spun all the bearings on the crankshaft, so these connecting rods pretty much are, housed around the crankshaft. So this one for sure is shaking from when I checked it, so I'm not even gonna pull it right now because that's just straight garbage at this point. But I'm gonna take off all that stuff, and then like all the transferables, alright, go over here. So all the transferables, like that stuff, I'm gonna try to put back on. You're gonna need new gaskets and all that stuff for that new thermostat. Yeah, basic stuff. Liquid tray. Your oil pan works. Just gotta get it nice and clean. You gotta put it in the hot tank. Get it nice and sexy. We're gonna use them over here. So we're gonna clean out all the metal shavings that's in the bottom of the pan. All that black stuff, that's metal. Just, very thin pieces of metal. So I'm gonna clean those out, get those sorted. So that's it for the most part. Supercharger is intact. So I would say it would be nice to just pop this out and reuse it, but the problem is you start trying to dig it, the material is so soft, if you can focus, it's just gonna start burning up. You're just gonna damage it. So this is why it's replaced rather than reused. It's a soft aluminum material around here, and with the bearing case and the bearings and stuff. So you can see that we don't want to take out the crankshaft. That would be the only way to get it out. To reuse it, that would be defeating the purpose, because the crankshaft is fucked, as we know, as the pistons are smacking the journals. So yes, as much as we hate to put a wrench in the process, so to speak, these things happen. Part of being a technician. Okay, so here's the clutches. Here's your first disc.
and then your independent disc right here, or friction plate, and then here's your second disc, and here's your pressure plate special tool. What you're gonna need is the rear main seal. Obviously you can see that one is finished, and you're gonna need a new pilot bearing. This I know is fairly cheap. I think it's like 60 bucks or some shit like that. The pilot bearing, however, we're gonna have to get that in. I don't know if I can even get this one out. There's no way to get that out because it's like inside the crankshaft. So usually we'll get a new pilot bearing and kind of hammer it in onto the back of the new engine. So yeah, so I want to see if I can source one and let you know. This one here is your flywheel. So essentially this goes onto the back of here, and then the clutches clamp onto here. It's almost like a brake rotor, but you can see all the hot spots there. Now it is up to you if you want to replace it or not. You know, it's just one of those things, man. I hate to say it, but you know, hey, we're here already, why not? But like I said, it's totally up to you. You can put it back together, it's gonna run fine, but just know at some point it's gonna fail. That's signs that it was getting really hot, that pressure plate, that flywheel. So they are resurfaceable. Probably have to take it to a machine shop and resurface it, but that's about it. Okay, so rear main seal installed, nice and squared away. New hardware, you know. And now I'm gonna install the pilot bearing. So that pretty much goes there just like that. I'm gonna install that, tap it in with a bearing race driver tool, and get that squared away. Slam on the clutch. There's the old one stuck in there. And then cool. So we got our rear main seal put on. We got our pilot bearing installed on the BGE. It's a hellcat block. For those who are not familiar, this is our clutch installation. I figured why not shoot a video while I got the engine at short block. So it would be a lot more clearer for those who've never done a clutch assembly on a hellcat or scat pack or any manual TR6060. This is pretty much the video for you. So this is our hellcat build. This for those who don't know, there's the hellcat behind me. This block is a Modern Muscle Extreme block. I usually build them, but this time we opted into just getting a already done short block from them. Figured it's about the same price difference as far as me putting the pistons, rods together, machining the block, blah 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 blah. Figured this would be a quicker turnaround and a better option for the client. So anyway, here's the flywheel. Now excuse this one, it's a little bit hot. It has some hot spots. In a perfect world I would replace this, but you know, the client wanted to take that on at a later time. It's not gonna hurt the car, you know what I mean? He's not trying to make a significant amount of power. He's just trying to get by right now, enjoy his car a little bit. So for me, that's really not an issue. I've had that with performance clutches as well, where it got hot, not that hot, but you can definitely see a little bit of hot spots and stuff. So it still can be used. It was working prior to removing the engine, so we're just going to continue using it. Here are the clutch discs. I'm going to get into the tool a little bit to remove it, but this is the clutch disc. So this is the first disc that mates directly up to the flywheel. This is an independent friction plate, I guess that's what they call it, or intermediate plate. And then this would be your average pressure plate, and in here you have a secondary clutch. So this clutch disc would be your primary, this one would be your secondary. Primary because it hooks up directly to the flywheel first. You can notice also on the clutch, the disc itself, it's in pretty damn good shape, if you know what I mean. There's no real scoring or nothing, and there's a lot of life left on the disc itself. So for me, that's a good disc. You can see the other one right here. Excuse my mark. Just wanted to keep everything symmetrical. But you can see on the secondary disc, it's still got a lot of life on it. So yeah, the car has been living in its stock form for a minute. You know what I mean? But given Dodge did build a proper setup, so you always want to trust the engineers on certain things, you know what I mean, from factory. But this is a damn good setup for me. The TR6060s are strong no matter how much you beat on them. I'm not sure how my clutch looks as far as in my Scat Pack, because I do want a Scat Pack manual with a TR6060. It's the same clutch setup, but I'm not sure if it's a lot more forgiving like this one. I would hope it is. But anyway, I'm gonna line it up real quick. You won't be able to line it up because, like I said, it's 3 pieces. So here's the first disc, the second mid plate, intermediate plate, independent plate, friction plate, whatever the hell you call it. And then here is the other disc. So on the pressure plate. So you can see you got this set of splines to deal with. Then you got this has its own splines, and then this other disc has its splines. So there's really no way to line this up ballpark without the tool, because what the tool does, it goes from one end to the other, and it pretty much acts as the shaft itself. So you can see that I did a little bit more light right there. So you can see it's splined all the way in. So without that, you are not lining up these clutches. You can forget it, because end game, when you line it up, right, you want it to be able to go over these, and if it's not lined up properly, well, you're gonna have a very hard time marrying that engine to that transmission. So that's kind of like where you want to use this tool. The tool is a clutch alignment tool. I'm gonna put the part number, put it in the link in the description, and then hopefully you can find it, because it's kind of out of stock everywhere. I work for Chrysler, so I have one. But the part number is 10018 Alpha. 10018 Alpha. Without that, you're not lining up clutches on your TR6060. Forget it, unless you're gonna find a junk trans and cut off the input chat somehow. But hey, that's the bit of it. But anyway, let's just start lining this stuff up. Just wanted to explain what it is and what's going on here. All right, so now you should have your flywheel all clean, if it's not a new one. Wish I was using a new one, but what you want to do, after you get your pilot bearing installed, don't forget to install that, or else you're pretty much fucked. You want to get your flywheel and kind of try to line up the holes. Make sure none of the holes are not offset. So, see, when I spun it right there, you got these holes that are lined up right here, but then you got this one that's offset. So this is why I want to spin it and kind of gauge up and watch which holes line up properly. So see, once again, I spun it and I got this one offset. I got a couple other ones lined up, but it's not perfect. So I'm just gonna keep turning it until I get all the holes lined up properly. That way I can put down the flywheel. And boom. So now if you look at that, you can see now all the holes are lined up. Make sure it's nice and oops. Yeah. So you can see all the holes are lined up. So now you're ready to start bolting down. So prior to bolting down, you want to make sure these bolts have some Loctite, some Permatech Loctite on there. That way you can kind of keep them from spinning. These bolts, you're just gonna run them down by hand at first. I use one of my starter bolt. That way, kind of hold the flywheel in place. We want to leave it a little loose so you can get the other ones installed. So just kind of go around and install them. Alright, so at this point you should have them ran down hand tight. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna use one of the transmission bolts that makes up the transmission to the engine. I'm gonna use it as kind of like a stopper, and then I'm gonna grab the teeth of the flywheel with a holding tool like a pry bar or anything, just to hold it as I apply force to the bolt to try to torque it. So I'm gonna get that set up and then show you how it goes. Okay, so here I got my thing set up right here. Just got a regular old pry bar, or even a parking brake adjustment tool will do, whatever. Just make sure you get a good grip on it. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna set your torque wrench to 75 Newton meters or 55 foot-pounds, whichever unit of measurement you prefer. You're gonna start in a crisscross pattern. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're gonna start with this one. Be sure to mark each bolt. That way you don't keep torquing. So that's one. I'm not gonna do all these all together, but I just wanna show you how you're supposed to do it. That way you can't make no mistake. Another one. And so forth. Okay, so now here comes the tricky part. So I already got my bolts coated with the Permatex Loctite. You want to do that. These bolts for the pressure plate clutch assembly get 75 Newton meters or 55 foot-pounds. Here's the tool needed to align these clutches. Without this tool, I can tell you, you are fucked. Like, there's 3 pieces, you will never align them together. They're going to be offset without the tool, so you need the tool. Once again, do not attempt this without the tool. You're going to have a very long fucking day. Can't say I didn't warn you. So anyway, I made some markings on the clutch before I actually took it apart, because I wanted to get it back aligned properly and just the way I took it apart. So this is how I do it, and feel free to replicate what I'm doing. So I line up the shaft with the pilot bearing, and then I slide the independent clutch in first, and then I kind of work the whole assembly on, and it literally just goes on like I took it off. Notice the shaft still goes up and down freely, and it's bottomed out into the pilot bearing. That's what you want. So now we're just gonna run down these bolts quick, one by one, in an offset pattern, just as well as we did before. We're just gonna catch the top and the bottom one, and just to hold it in place, then I'm gonna start the rest of the bolts. Okay, now that you're done running them all down hand tight, we're gonna actually check them that they're hand tight. We're gonna set your torque wrench to 55 foot-pounds or 75 Newton meters, whichever you want. Make sure you're holding mechanism, whatever the hell you got going on. Make sure that is still in place, because we're gonna need it. So I'm gonna start torquing now. You can see I'm not even hitting that torque yet, so I gave it 3 turns right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue that. I'm trying to get it seated properly. So before I even start torquing, it seems like it wants to go down a little bit more. So I'm gonna try to do that until I feel the slightest bit of resistance, and then I'm gonna stop to try to get to that torque range, or the target torque, which is 75 Newton meters. Alright, now we got our torque range set to 75 Newton meters or 55 foot-pounds. And we're gonna start torquing. That's not torquing, but torquing.
go to the one directly below. Again. And I'm gonna recheck all of them, make sure I'm there. Though I'm preset on my torque wrench, and that's what I like about this torque wrench, Snap-on A-Tech torque wrench. So it tells me how many times I actually torque the bolts, representing how many bolts I torque. So there should be a total of 7 bolts, but it's showing that 14. So that's how I know I torqued them twice. So I'm gonna run through and check that the torque is good. I'm gonna reset. Now it's at 0 at 75. And then get my tool. I'm just gonna run through them real quick, one by one. Make sure I'm at the target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, so I'm in the green. I'm at my target torque specification, and my preset is at 7. So I know I've touched all 7 bolts. So end game, your alignment tool should slide freely in and out of the assembly, just like that. That means all your clutches are lined up, and it should go right down there. So this is representing the input shaft, and just how this lines up in the input shaft is how it needs to go. It will not go if all the clutches are offset and none of the splines line up. You will have a very long day without this tool. Here's the part number right here, 10018 Alpha. So good luck finding that. And that's going to conclude this video for the clutch alignment on a BGE Hellcat 6.2 or 6.4 scat. They're pretty much the same, or any TR6060 trans. You'll find that on a majority of Chevys, some Corvettes, some Camaros, 6.2s and stuff. Little Super Bell housing stuff, and it works. But any TR6060 transmission, manual transmission with a twin disc clutch setup, this is how you do it. This is the tool to do it. And thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Look out for some more sick shit.